Again, I'm here with my good friend Keith Cobell talking about my book, How They Make It Work, 21 Habits of a Successful Marriage. And today's chapter, I think, is chapter 15. And the name of that chapter is They Make It a Habit to Brag Just a Bit on Their Spouse. Now, I've got to start out and say, Keith, we're not talking about being braggadocio and taking over conversations. I think we've all been to parties or dinner times with people who the spouse just goes on and on and on, and I'm thinking, do I really want to hear about all their escapades and how successful they are? That's not what I'm talking about, but I am talking about feeling free to just occasionally mention to a friend or to a group of people the accomplishments. Maybe your husband or your spouse got a raise, or maybe they did something that was very kind out of sight of anybody else, or how great a mom your kids have. Just comments like that to let the other person know this person's really proud of who they're married to. And I think we tend not to do that because we don't want to sound like we're bragging or playing one-upsmanship or whatever, but I think we all need to hear from the person who loves us the most that they're proud of us, and that they're not afraid to share that pride with other people from time to time.
But what if like me, you're married to a rock star, and you
like
just
my wife is,
you just want to be a braggadocio, you called it
braggadocious, new word for you,
something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, like, it's signaling to her that I highly respect and highly regard the work she does or the things that she does.
Yeah.
So that signals something important to her.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also an element, I think, too, of if I'm going to brag about my spouse or my kids or whatever, there's an element of like, look how awesome I am that I happen to marry a rock star. Mm-hmm. I think there's some like reflective glory that comes with bragging, which I don't think is negative.
Yeah.
But it's absolutely a way in which I'm signaling to my significant other, like, I highly value you and what you do,
right,
or what you put your time to, or what you focus on, mm-hmm. or those kinds of things.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that kind of bragging does feel really important.
Yeah.
For that reason alone.
Yeah. Well, I think when a person goes on and on and on about the successes of their spouse, it's easy to think they're bragging about themselves because, after all, I landed him, or I landed her.
Yeah.
So I think the key there is do it sparingly, but do it. And I would say it's kind of like giving compliments to your spouse, but to someone else. And we all need compliments. It's easy enough to criticize, but I think it's really important to let other people know that we really value the abilities of the person we're married to.
There's always those awkward social situations, which we've all been in.
Yeah.
When you're with a couple, and the one is kind of disparaging the other one, or it's the opposite of them kind of uplifting this other person.
Right.
And that's just a clear signal again of like, this person doesn't respect or doesn't regard this person very well, and it just kind of makes this awkward sort of environment, right?
Yeah.
So what you're saying here in this chapter is this bragging, or this, kind of affirming publicly what my significant other has done or who they are, is kind of an outward sign of this inner reality that I think they're pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And that signals not just to him or her, but to everyone, something about this relationship.
Yeah. And I think when we do brag just a bit about our spouse, it makes it real difficult the next time we're with these people to put them down, or to criticize them, or to complain about some crazy thing they did. So it's kind of like it helps push out the negative and replaces it with the positive, which is really what my book is all about. So So anyway, I think that's it for this topic. Next time we're going to be on chapter 16, and I don't recall what it is, and Keith has my only copy, so he'll have to remind us what is the next one.
Habit 16 is they make it a priority to have fun together.
Great. Well, I hope you all are having fun because we're having fun. All four of you, my cousin and my niece, who've watched this.
And my daughter is in about 20 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right, cool.